Good morning, everyone. Enjoying the sunrise out here in beautiful Reno, Nevada. Thought this would be a great place to take a clip here of re-regulating the brain. I'm always dealing with the sun in life and connecting the dots of thoughts and putting it all together to welcome another day here. Beautiful day. May 9th, 2025. It's a significant date. May 9th for me, 18 years ago, was brain surgery. So I had a way to re-regulate my brain physically by going through brain surgery. And when I woke up this morning and working in this area, now that I work in neurofeedback in my life coaching program, epilepsy coaching, recovery coaching, working with addiction in those areas and different coaching programs, the symmetry of this area when it comes to neurofeedback and biofeedback for the brain has helped me to better regulate my brain in this area when it comes to life. So I'm putting this live today because this day, May 9th, 2007, 18 years ago, was left temporal lobe awake craniotomy that I went through. So this area of my head that's still, I'm very thankful for, that I have the hair to show for it, but this area was cut right there for brain surgery, left temporal lobe, awake craniotomy, to take out a damaged tissue that I had from football back in the day, back in high school. Many years back, had a severe concussion, severe injury that caused a traumatic brain injury and a coma, and left me with a 25-year battle with epilepsy. And even after brain surgery did not work, and it worked in 2007, but alcohol and drinking and my lifestyle did not correlate very well with keeping epilepsy away. I still had seizures. Another 5 years later, got over it, sobered up, looked up, got up, and grew up, and started life over, and took different ways to better regulate my brain by better regulating my lifestyle to get rid of epilepsy holistically. And I'm not saying I'm a doctor and I can cure things. I've had neurologists look at me and say, "What are you talking about? You haven't taken medication?" Because in 2007, brain surgery. In 2008, I started drinking again. In 2009, epilepsy and seizures came back. But what I found out later, 5 years, 6 years into my sobriety later, that those seizures were coming back due to delirium tremors, DTs, coming off alcohol. Alcohol-induced epilepsy, but also my lifestyle, just in general, did not want it, it wasn't the best for epilepsy. You're not supposed to be drinking when you're taking medication or trying to get rid of seizures, holistically. Alcohol was in my life, stayed in my life, but when it got out of my life, I said no more medication, no more alcohol, no more, the lifestyle that I used to have. I couldn't deal with it anymore. So I better regulated my own brain by better regulating my life. What was I eating? What was I drinking? There is a way to get over this. And that is, back in the day, that it for me was a lifestyle that I had to change because it was injuring me. It was taking away my ability to function mentally, emotionally, in every way. Alcohol was just destroying my life, not only on the outside, but on the inside. So when I got rid of alcohol in 2012, by 2013, 14, and 15, I started meditating. I started changing things. And meditation, awareness, and prayer is what I call MAP, M-A-P. Meditation and manifestation, awareness and attitude, prayer and positive thinking. Those areas changed my life holistically. And by 2013, 14, 15, everything had gone away. No more seizures, no more small malls, petite malls. Nothing was going on in my mind, in my brain. I was cleansing my body. I was paying attention to what I was eating and drinking. And I had to say to myself, I can do this on my own by better regulating my brain by what I eat and what I drink. Now, this area, going back to neurofeedback and the symmetry that my lifestyle was in, I had to understand that to better regulate my brain, I had to understand who I was surrounding myself with, what I was doing in life, what my intentions were in life, the negativity, the areas that I had to understand were, who I surround myself with is what I become in life. So in your life, going back into the areas that you work with and you are in your daily life of work, of who you surround yourself with, relationships, how are you working right now in life when it comes to better regulating your brain? Not just on the inside. When we think of brain, but it's our mind, it's our ability to function, it's our ability to stay positive in life. So you are who you surround yourself with in life. Love those who love you, and also love yourself first. You have to love yourself first in order to love those on the outside. It's kind of a deep thought, but at the same time, love yourself, treat yourself well with respect, what you eat, what you drink, be good to your body, and regulating the brain, going back to that, is how we fuel ourselves. So if you're eating fast food, if you're drinking alcohol, drinking sodas, drinking, processed drinks, food, everything else, it's not going to get you there. To stay in symmetry, to stay in that area, be aware of what you fuel yourself with and who you are out there with, who you surround yourself with. And even in the hardest times in life, be appreciative of that. Take time to meditate, to understand, to regulate, to just focus on what is causing this anxiety, what is causing this fear, this trauma, this type of situation in your life that's not working. If things aren't working, don't blame everybody else all the time. You got one finger pointed out, you got three fingers pointed in. So if you're blaming everybody else, this person, that person, it's not always the right way to look at it. And you're never going to find out what's going on the inside. If that person gets out of your life and you're still traumatized and affected by everybody else's view of you, or everybody else's thoughts of you, or what this person thinks, what they call me, what they said to me, screw it, forget it. Work on this person in here by working on this person connected in here. The heart and the mind, the passion, the action, passion, action. In between, eliminate the mouthful of excuses. Start by meditating, and if you pray, great, that's wonderful. But at the same time, some people don't pray. You don't have to worry about that. Just meditate, breathe, deep breathing techniques. Those are the areas I had to focus on for myself, by myself originally, because I was understanding that not everybody accepted meditation. They wanted medication. I had to accept meditation over medication and better regulate my brain by better regulating my heart, my body, and my soul. And I meditated. Be appreciative of the fact that there is a matter of fact in life. The matter of fact is the fact of what you create on the inside is what you become on the outside. The matter of fact is up here, but it's fueled down here. And many times, what we see in society and what affects us is right here. That mouthful of excuses. That's a slow, short time period right there of 2 minutes, 3 minutes of what I do, and focusing on 20 minutes a day, every day, for the area of breath and breathing and meditation and whatever you want to call it. Some people get meditation mixed up with religion, and there's conflict in that. I'm not praying. I am spiritual, religious, Christian, those areas, but I'm not praying like this. I'm working on my breathing techniques. I'm working on regulating the brain up here by focusing on the breath down here. And again, parts of this are able to hear the voice within speaking softly of change. And I had to understand that this voice was telling me, stop drinking, stop hanging around those partiers, stop going to bars like Oceanside, right, Lance? Oside. And those areas were fun in my life, but when you wake up the next day and you can't remember anything and you can't understand what happened last night, and it's a constant escapism every night, and every day is a brain fog, everything on the outside was a blur. And I was facing seizures, DUIs, jail. The part of this is the brain surgery that I went through, part of re-regulating the brain, and in the neurofeedback part that I've been working on. I had to understand the command to expand lies in me, through me, for me, by me, and understand that the old me had to get out of the way. The old me was holding me back. The old me said drink. The old me said drink and drive. The old me said escape. The old me wanted to die. And when I speak to the schools and when I speak to people these days in my speaking events, I tell them about my story, but I tell it from a third party perspective of how my best friend in life died in jail in 2012 with 4 DUIs, jail, homelessness, everything else. And that best friend was me, was the old me, was the me that wanted me to come down and end my life completely. So going back to understanding the command to expand and being able to say, I have to start over. I have to start a new life. Going back to your life, what are you doing today? And to understand that what you're eating is what you become, what you're drinking is what you become, who you surround yourself is what you become. How are you better regulating your life? How are you better regulating your brain waves to say, hey, I need to change, I need to grow. Thank you for the challenge, thank you for the change. There's change in challenge. And that word is change. There's change in challenge. Focus on it, become it. As I'm watching the snow in the hills out here as well, just melting down from the winter here in May. Again, going back, May 9th, 2007 was brain surgery, and I had to start over. My whole life was frozen. I'm seeing the beautiful hills out here and saying the winter is over, the spring has begun, the summer's coming. Start over in life. Say thank you in life. Be grateful in life. Be appreciative in life. And that symmetry, that brainwave regulation patterns, better regulating the brain to understand that we can start over. It's never too late. If you are watching this right now, no matter where you're at, in an office, and if you're driving, of course, drive, but you're listening to this, or you're parked somewhere, sit in your car, sit in your office, sit at home, for Lance there, maybe sitting somewhere else, and just meditate and be thankful. Be thankful for 30 seconds, 3 things in 30 seconds in 3 different ways to say thank you. Thank you for your relationship. Thank you for your job. Thank yourself for being able to have another day on this earth. Be able to thank myself for sobriety, for overcoming epilepsy, for overcoming those obstacles in life, that where I was right now at this time, 6 a.m., May 9th, 2007, I was getting my head cut open in brain surgery. And now to this day, I say thank you for overcoming that. And even though the obstacles got worse, I had to say thank you in every way. Turn the FUs to thank yous. and be able to have that command to expand and say, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the epilepsy. Thank you for the brain surgery. Thank you for the 3-4 epileptic car accidents. Thank you for the DUIs. Thank you for the jail. Thank you for the homelessness. Thank you in every way. You don't need to go through all that, but what we did go through in lockdown, you had to understand that this was a benefit, to see the appreciation that you should have every day in life, to say, hey, I can go outside. I can drive now. I can go places. So the lockdown that we went through 5 years ago is a lockdown I lived with for 14 years in my life prior. So the appreciation and the command to expand lies in you, for you, through you, by you, and to say in every way, thank you. Go now and grow now, and share the light of love.